Hey children, welcome to Opa's Devos again. It's been a while since I prepared one of these because we've had a lot of visitors. Let me read you part of a verse in the book of Joshua, chapter 6 and verse 5. It's just a part. God tells Joshua to do something that's a little strange, and he says, when you do that, this is what will happen. The wall of the city shall fall down flat. Do you know what that's all about? Do you remember the story of Jericho? Remember the walls of Jericho? God told Joshua to lead the children of Israel to walk around the city, around the walls, huge towering walls. They had no way of breaking down those walls. God said, you walk around the city one time every day for 6 days. Well, can you think of what the people in Jericho who hated the Jews, what do you think they thought when they saw these people walking around their city once every day? 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, and they're beginning to, what in the world is wrong with these people? They're nuts. They're crazy. Why are they walking around our city? That's not going to do anything. Oh, yes, it would. Why would it be a good thing to do? Because God had told them to walk around the city 6 days, one time. And then on the seventh day, things would change. On the seventh day, they were to walk around the walls of the city 7 times in a row on the same day. I wonder what the people of Jericho must have thought. Something is different here. Maybe they've seen that they can't do it that way and they're doing something else. They didn't know. But God's people knew, because after the 7th time around on that last day, God said, okay, the priests are going to play their instruments just as loud as they can, and everybody is going to shout as loud as they can. Make the biggest noise you can. And when you do that, all of the walls of the city, except for one little section where Rahab lived, one lady who wanted to love God, she wanted to know God, the entire rest of the wall fell down flat. It just crumbled it just came down, which created a ramp so that the people of Israel could come into the city and conquer it. Well, why are we looking at this passage today? Why look at this story? Because sometimes God tells his children to do things that other people don't understand. Maybe you have friends or neighbors, or maybe you have relatives who look at you going to church every Sunday and saying, what's wrong with you? Why do you go to church? Why do your parents make the whole family get up on Sunday when you could sleep in and make you go to church to listen to something that maybe you don't understand, or it's for older people, or what? And they would say, that's really weird. That's really odd. And what would you say? Well, you could say, I'm going to obey my mom and dad, and that's a good thing. But one thing you could say is, you know what? God said that's what we should do. And God knows what he's telling us to do. Maybe they look at you when you pray and thank God for the food. Maybe as you go to a restaurant and you bow your head and you quietly pray to God. People look at you and say, what is wrong with you? Who are you talking to? There's nobody else here. You say, I'm talking to God. Why do I do this? Because God told us to be thankful. And God told us to pray. So there are actually a lot of things that we do as Christians because God told us to do it. Because God tells us that's what he wants. And we are going to obey God, even if the people around us don't understand it. So, never be ashamed to do what God says. When they obeyed God, what happened to the walls of Jericho? They came tumbling down. Why? Because they obeyed. If they hadn't walked around the city, the walls wouldn't have come down. There was no way they could take that city. But they obeyed God, and because they obeyed God, God blessed them and gave them victory. And allowed them to do what they needed to do. The same thing goes for you and me. We learn what God wants, and we say, yes, sir. Yes, Lord. Whatever you say, just like little boy Samuel said, I'm here. What do you want? Speak. I'm listening. I want to do your will. Okay, let's leave it at that. God bless you. Love you very much.